Hi everyone, it's Paul here from Magnin Centre. Today I'm talking about the sun's passage through Capricorn, starting on the winter solstice here in the northern hemisphere, though obviously it's the summer solstice in the south, and this goes on until the 20th of January when the sun moves into Aquarius. So I'll be outlining the kind of themes that this brings to us. So with Capricorn, this marks the beginning of the final quarter of the zodiac. So this quarter is generally about self-transcendence. So we've done all the internal growth ideally and learned to expand our consciousness by recognising how we're interlinked with everything else. But now that we're moving into Capricorn, we're looking at what actions we take in the world around us, and specifically what goals do we set based on what our highest personal destiny is, if you like. So this is a time of looking at who we are, understanding who we are. I mean, at the time of the solstice, the sun doesn't move or rises and sets at the same point every day for about 3 days in a row. And this is a time of reflection, looking back at the growth that we've achieved so far in the last 9 months, and figuring out or looking at ourselves and seeing how well have we grown, have we shown commitment, have we continued the goals that we started right at the beginning of the cycle when the sun was in Aries at the spring equinox, or have we just let things fizzle out? Have we been true to ourselves through most of the time, or have we allowed ourselves to be sidetracked by other people's expectations of what we should be doing or who we should be, and as a result allowed fear to hold us in our tracks? Now, with Capricorn, the challenge here is personal integrity. So this is Capricorn is our public persona, it's our public identity and how we're perceived by people who we don't know very well. So this isn't people who know us closely, this is what is our reputation or what we're known for in the wider world, in the public sphere, as opposed to the private sphere. And ideally, we'd be in a position where the public identity we show to the world around us, the masks that we wear, if you like, is just who we are. It's a reflection of our internal world. So for us to manifest the highest levels of the sun in Capricorn, we need to know who we are inside first, and then create that public identity based on who we are. But a lot of time we may struggle to achieve this, and we end up getting sidetracked or seduced by public approval, because with Capricorn, one of the pitfalls of it is allowing social approval to pull us off our own path and end up building a career of success in an area that isn't actually aligned with who we are, but we're doing it based on what we've been influenced to think we should be doing. And if we do this, well, we know if we're doing something that isn't actually true to who we are, because whatever we're doing, we may feel like a fraud when we're doing it. So we know we may well be very good at the role, but we may fear being found out or feel like a fraud at it. But if we're doing something that is true to who we are and is a reflection of our own personal identity, then we don't get this kind of internal conflict or this feeling of being a fraud. But another thing to be aware of, Capricorn is known for, or its qualities are things like patience, perseverance, self-control, and these are all necessary tools and resources for us to use in order to pursue a goal over a long period of time that's worth it. And for any goal that is truly worthwhile and truly leaves us feeling accomplished, there are no shortcuts either. It's a goal that we can only achieve through dedication and time put in. Because Capricorn is about maturity, it's a maturing force, and it's something that only manifests over a period of time. It's not an instant manifestation kind of sign, but these same qualities also give us that strength of character, that resilience and backbone, in order to stay true to who we are and stick with our goals rather than giving up. Because with Capricorn, we may also encounter obstacles both within and without, But these obstacles aren't there to stop us achieving a goal, they're just there to see or test our commitment to it. Because if we don't encounter challenges, we don't know if we're committed to our goal or not. It's the challenges which test our commitment and test our resilience. And if we have the self-discipline, the self-control and the patience to overcome these challenges and keep stepping up, then we'll become much stronger individuals. We'll develop that self-sufficiency through doing the hard work ourselves, through taking those individual steps on a daily basis to make a goal happen. But one thing we need to be careful of is the qualities I've mentioned are there to be applied to our actions. If we allow fear to freeze our nerve for a moment, these same resources of self-control can be applied to our emotions instead. And this leads to emotional numbness and cuts us off from the core of who we are. Because our emotions radiate from the core of our being, especially emotions like love, compassion, stillness. These come from inside us. And if we allow fear to paralyze us, these emotions then get numbed and we lose touch with who we really are inside, and we end up building or wearing a mask and building a public persona that is out of alignment with who we are. And it doesn't matter how much we work hard to achieve this goal that isn't aligned with who we are, we'll always feel like something off, or it will never feel satisfied, or never feel like it's enough, and may desperately try to keep working hard, keep climbing to the top. But it's not the mountain, it's not our mountain to climb, we're climbing someone else's, because we've allowed fear to get in the way, and as a result we're now doing something that is someone else's goal. So we each have our own mountain to climb, if you like, and it's a mountain that there's no clear, not necessarily clear route up to the top. It's one that we can only climb by taking one step at a time, testing the ground, making sure things are solid, and then taking the next step along that path towards that final goal mission. But if we have the courage to take this path and develop the qualities of self-discipline, self-control, patience and perseverance, then these qualities strengthen our character and give us that background necessary to commit to our goals and demonstrate commitment through our actions, and be in a position where we have ideally we have almost 100% integrity. It's not necessarily always possible. The world around us is obviously beyond our control. We can only control ourselves. But if we can at least get to the point where most of the time what we say is married with our actions, so our words and our actions are married together as one, and there's no disconnects, or there's no discrepancy here leading to hypocrisy. If we do this work now of developing these qualities and being committed when we let our yay be yay and our nay be nay, and commit to the projects that we can and that we want to do and are aligned with who we are, and have the courage to say no and set the boundaries necessary to not allow other people to try and dump their workload on us. We have our own workloads in life, and we need to stick to or focus on doing what is our job and make sure other people do their job as well, rather than trying to bail them out, because it's not a loving thing to do another person's work for them. If they don't do the work themselves, then they're not going to develop a strong character anyway. So sometimes we have to be able to say no to someone and make it clear that we have our own goals to achieve. If they want to do something, they want some work done, but they can't be bothered to do it, that's their problem, not ours. So boundaries is another thing with Capricorn, and setting healthy boundaries. It's not walling ourselves off from other people. It's like a fence around your garden and there's a gate in it. The gate allows the good things in and us to get rid of the bad things, and the fence serves as an area that makes it clear where our boundaries lie, what is our stuff to deal with, what is other people's things to deal with, whilst the gate allows us to get rid of the things which aren't ours and invite things in which are good for us and are true to who we are. So Capricorn is a time of also developing these boundaries and learning to say no if we don't want to do something, but also learn to say yes when we do want to do something that someone's offering to us, but we may not necessarily have the courage. If we want to do something, then we need to make it clear and we need to assert ourselves. But the main thing is to have the patience, self-discipline, self-control and perseverance to work on the goals that are true for who we are, and to make sure that we do these every single day. We don't just do it once in a blue moon, because otherwise any goal that we set for ourselves is never going to be achieved. Anything worthwhile takes action on a committed basis, being done every single day. And yeah, sometimes life gets in the way, but if we learn to commit to something because we know we want to do it, then we can avoid allowing excuses to get in the way. We can take responsibility and carve out time to do the things that we want to do, and that will lead to long-term accomplishment that no one can take away from us, because we've done the hard work, we've done it from our own blood, sweat and tears. It's not something that someone's made easy for us, or we've taken shortcuts to try and get there, and as a result don't feel as proud of our accomplishments. Capricorn is a time for developing those qualities that give us that integrity, that allows us to be authentic and be who we are, so that what you see is what you get. Obviously this is easier said than done. It's very easy to lecture on this sort of thing, but it's quite another to actually apply it in our own lives. But if we have the courage and take the time to do this and be true to who we are, then the people who aren't right for us will naturally disappear, and the people who are aligned with our true self are then have space to move into. So this is a time of learning to be true to who we are, be authentic, have that integrity, so if we say we're going to do something, we do it, and to have set those boundaries in place so that people who can waste our time and try to manipulate us or push us off our path, they can push or removed via use of boundaries and make it clear that we're not going to tolerate that behaviour. But also we may well find that if we learn to be authentic and express who we are, then people who vibe with us, who have the same kind of attitude or same beliefs or want to do the same thing, may suddenly start appearing in our lives. But we have to be able to let go of the past and let go of the need for public affirmation and public acclaim. And this is where, if we take time for solitude, what's the sun in Capricorn, and by solitude I do not mean that we isolate ourselves. I do not mean that we separate ourselves from the communities that support us. All I'm saying is we spend a few minutes each day by ourselves, focusing on connecting with who we are, of going inwards and remembering who we are and what it is that we want to achieve, and to get to the point where we know what goal we want to set and we're not reliant on public affirmation for us to pursue the goal. We're prepared to pursue that goal even if not many people understand it, and some people may judge us for it, but if they're going to judge it, that's their problem, it's not ours. But we have to be true to ourselves, otherwise we just end up living life with regrets. We never take actions along the goals that we want to set, or we never take actions for our dreams, and we end up feeling regrets as we get older because of all the opportunities we had to do something that we want to do, but we let those opportunities slip because we were too afraid to take those actions and to be who we are. So hopefully during the time of Saturn Capricorn we all learn to be more aligned with who we are, and we all learn to develop that integrity and develop those qualities necessary to fulfill our goals. So may the sun in Capricorn be much growth, much greater alignment with who you are, and may bring you many blessings. Take care.